All right, good afternoon and welcome to the UTSA Volleyball Weekly Press Conference. Coach, if you'd like to start off with an opening statement as your team hosts UAB in Tulsa this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy and fun weekend. Homecoming this weekend. Have a really great matchup on Friday against UAB before Best Fest. So there's going to be a ton of people there. Really excited about that. And then wrap up the weekend with Tulsa. And I think it's two good matchups like we've been continuing to have. So we're just continuing to preach staying the course and continuing to try to get more than one set, more than those points, continuing to put those together and continuing our youth to get that experience.
We'll take our first question from Terrence.
Coach, just how important, I guess, being at home, you haven't played too many matches in the last 2 or 3 weeks, although I've been on the road, but just players being able to kind of participate in the homecoming events and things like that. And help with a young team?
Yeah, I think it's exciting because there's going to be a lot of buzz and a lot of people on campus, and there's nothing like our home crowd. There's nothing like our students. There's nothing like San Antonio to back us in our gym, and that's exactly what we need. We're in a really tough conference, and we're seeing that day in and day out playing the top teams in conference thus far in Rice and North Texas, and we need that home crowd. We need that home court advantage, and so we're just continuing to stay the course and tell them how we match up with UAB and how we can have success.
Have you had a chance to kind of get an early look on those two teams?
Yeah, UAB has a really great opposite, and right now that's going to be a focus of ours this week is how do we slow down the opposite side of the court. That's something that we need to address and be a little bit better at, and then how do we continue to push balls through the middle. Kai Bailey is crushing it right now, doing a really good job on the offensive side of things. How do we keep feeding balls to her? And I think Mia Sorensen really turned it on last week a little bit more offensively, and we're going to continue to work on, the number of times we set her and trying to move things in and out. So just some adjustments offensively, not from a skill side of things, but just a tactical side of things and how we're going to be able to put them down. And then Tulsa's super solid. They play very simple and very clean. They have a really, really great libero and a middle that's very, very good in front. So just working on how we're going to defend that and how we score in other ways other than left back where that libero sits in.
Peyton Turner's a player who stepped up here as of late for your team. What does she bring to what you're doing?
Her energy is tenacious. Her demeanor, how she flies around on the court. She may be mad at me for saying this, but her nickname for me is Gizmo. The Gremlins movie back in the day, you get her going and she goes. And, so she garnered that attention from the last few matches, really doing great stuff defensively and earned the nod for the libero spot and did a really, really great job with North Texas. Not just her skill, but her energy and how she really lifted us up. So I think it was a really great, move for the team, and we'll continue to see her throughout the rest of the season, hopefully continue to do that.
You talked about a little bit about the fan base, and UTSA is one of the top teams in the conference in terms of attendance. How pleased have you been with the growth you've seen of the fan base during your time here?
Well, I think it speaks to our support staff and, what they're putting into our program, and the product that we're putting out is fun to watch. We may not be getting the result we want right now, and that certainly can get frustrating, but we're going to stay the course. We're going to continue to play fun volleyball. We're going to continue to focus on dig transition and turning those digs into points, and we're going to continue to be grateful for the students and what they've done this year, and I'm really, really thankful that the students believe in us, continue to show out and show up for our games. Whether it's the fun promotions or, the volleyball itself, I think it's been great to be in the gym, and we want to continue to push that, and we need their support. We need, their backing. We need their energy. We need their voices, from cheer to the students. I mean, we can't say enough, thank yous to them for doing that, and we need them to show out on Friday. It's a little bit of a different game just because of all the stuff that we got on campus, a 4:00 game, so hopefully we can get more students out there to get after it again.
Terrence?
Coach, you talked about just the frustrating part of playing well at times and just not getting the result you wanted. How much of that is just who you're playing, Rice, North Texas, things like that, where against them, and those good things maybe don't come out more times than not in your favor? And how do you keep your players to keep confident and maybe just getting the win and kind of get things to turn around in your favor?
Yeah, I think that's the $1,000,000 question. For me, I'm continuing to spend time with my captains and with people on the team, showing them the things that they're doing well, continuing to add, to their toolbox of hitting, continue just to have those conversations of why we believe in you, why you're out there, what you're doing. Some people, what we need from you, what we need to continue to do, and what we need to continue to see, and make sure that we are continuing to do what we need to do in practice. But certainly some of it is the competition. We're in a really, really great conference. We play really, really hard teams, and that's what we're tasked to do. That's what we want to do. We want to be great. And I think this conference has great teams, and we're playing a lot of them twice this year. That's just how the cards fell. That's outside of our control. All we can do is continue to put the work in every day in practice. And if we trust that process